for MARL website, which is the you send the email through the contact form. So I'm the one who so I'm the one who read the your email there, because it was email form, right?
Right. Yes, that's correct.
The email going to my mailbox, and the other committee members also, but they never replied. But after I received that email, then I straight away I call Firdaus, ask him to communicate with you, because I don't want so many people to communicate. So I just told him that Firdaus is the only person to communicate with you. You know, since he is a high tech guy, see?
He is a high tech guy.
so many things he explored compared to me, because you know, I'm quite older, you see, and he's quite young, and you know, a lot of project he has done. Then I suppose that he is the best person, you know, we have some sort of collaboration later on.
Yes.
All right. So that is why I quite frequent also call him, you know, asking what is the progress of the, you know, your this kind of project, because even myself, I don't have any experience in this, and you know, I do not know whether you have this kind of experience, but yeah, we are quite active in amateur radio, and so you know, it's quite lucky, because suddenly you are pop up, you see, suddenly you are come up. You know, we never do this before, so this is why very important for us to, you know, to discuss what we are going to do. I mean, the equipment, everything. So
absolutely.
A committee, small committee for this. We can call up any amateur radio members who are interested, you know, who can contribute in terms of ideas, in terms of equipment and everything. What probably I do not know. Probably we can you know, probably we can offer to any government agency, you know, if they want to also participate. I'm not sure. This is just an idea, is it? And
well, I mean, I've got to a certain point with the project. We've got the payload. We've tested most of our sensors. We're at the point where we're looking now at being able to get all the electronics finalized. We've got 2 GPS systems on board. We've got an external GPS that runs completely standalone. We've got a GPS unit that works with the Arduino and the radio transmitter, which is what Firdaus and me have been discussing. And I actually have already managed to get hold of the 413 radio transmitter. The what was it? Radiotronics.
HX1.
Yeah, the HX1 Radiotronics chip. I've already got hold of one. We are currently, and I know that Firdaus has got a project there that he's done in the past, and it's kind of semi-finished or partially created. And essentially, I mean, we've still got quite a bit more work to be doing on the payload side of things, but the ideas of being able to track it using the radio system, and possibly, I know that Firdaus mentioned fox hunting for it when it lands, is really a little bit beyond my, well, it's way outside my expertise, which is why I ended up sending you guys the email. I figured that you guys would be the right people to contact in regards to this. I still haven't yet managed to sort out, because I'm not going to lie, Malaysia is the worst place I have ever come across for launching a weather balloon. Because it's really difficult to contact the people I need to contact. I have actually managed to get hold of, and I had an email communications with the guy from the FAA, And he actually sent me an email requesting me the details on the balloon. And of course, at that point, the balloon wasn't really ready for me to send him details. So I need to get in contact with him again. But I did actually manage to get in contact with him on the phone. He said they're happy to grant us a license for the launch, as long as we know where and when we're launching it. We know the size of the payload, the size of the balloon, and all that, which is fine. So I kind of felt like I jumped that hurdle of passing the FAA bit, but the trying to find a launch site for this thing is an absolute proverbial nightmare. Because I know from all the research that me and my students have been doing that this balloon is going to drift anywhere between 10 miles to 80 miles. We've run various simulations, and it seems to drift usually about 30 miles from most launch sites that we seem to be picking. But the problem is, of course, is trying to find an area of land big enough that we know that the balloon is going to land somewhere where we can actually go and get it, which is, it's a real problem. I mean, in America, it's very easy because they've got big, wide open expanses of farmland, whereas you guys have lots of palm oil plantations, which almost seemed ideal. But the problem with them is the fact that the plantations themselves are owned by multiple people. And we've tried to get in contact with the owners of various plantations, which were big enough, and we just get no response from them at all. My students also sent out over 30 emails to local universities, and we've had zero response from them as well. It's been quite difficult to try and actually get in contact with people who can offer us support. It's been really, really difficult. We've still pushed ahead with it. I've bought most of the equipment now. We've solved a whole load of our problems. And the balloon is still something I've yet to buy. I didn't want to pay for it myself, so I have to wait until I go back to school so that they can pay for the balloon. But it does mean that it puts us back another week, possibly a month, because the balloons will be being shipped from China, and it takes quite a long time for that to get here. But that month we're going to need in order to try and get our payload up and running. We've got an onboard GoPro. We've got 2 lithium-ion batteries wired in series to power the Arduino. We've got half a dozen sensors: temperature, pressure, accelerometer. All of them have been tested. Our pressure sensor was faulty, so we've bought a replacement pressure sensor, which again still hasn't arrived. But I reckon there's going to be probably anywhere between 8 weeks to 12 weeks of us getting this to the point where we're kind of ready to launch. The students have still got to build an antenna. So that was another thing that I've been trying to find the research online, trying to build an antenna that goes with the HX1 chip. I wasn't entirely sure on the students. I found a small schematic for building just a very basic antenna out of coat hangers. So the students started work on that, and they were measuring all the lengths of the coat hangers and cutting them all up, but that's still in the process of being put together. But of course, when we get to the point where we're ready to launch, which could be, I'd love to think that we could do a launch before December. That would be ideal. But again, it will be a case of seeing how things progress and how much time the students put into it. But the bit from you guys will be, obviously, if we can choose a launch site, I'm going to need one of you guys, or as you said, I'm happy to have as many people who are interested in coming to see this being launched. Is great for us because, I mean, we're going to be, I'd like to think that when the balloon's ready to go, I'm hoping to contact maybe local news people to come and see the balloon being launched. We're going to be the first high school in Malaysia to launch a balloon and hopefully retrieve it. There've been a couple of universities who've launched balloons in Malaysia, and I found their footage on YouTube, but there was no footage of their actual balloon, which suggests to me that they didn't get the payload back.
Yeah. I heard that one University Science of Malaysia, if you're not mistaken, they launched a balloon before, but I never knew about it. I mean, the progress or the story about it. And I heard that the project was failed. I do not sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, but as you mentioned earlier, if I can capture from our conversation that you have mentioned that you have already the equipment. I mean, you are in the process, isn't it? From to purchase the balloon from China and so on.
Yeah.
Does equipment already enough, or I'm not sure about the equipment because we need to discuss further on this. Because in our mind that we are going to combine it with amateur radio things like put in APRS, put in repeaters, all the sensors and everything, and probably we're going to have a repeater, some sort of crossband, something like that, between UHF and VHF. Then people can communicate through voice, and you know. I do not know because this is we never done this before.
Yes.
I've seen in YouTube and so on. People from US doing this kind of thing, but the other thing is about the cost. Who going to pay the cost? And and the other thing is how we're going to need cooperation from what is it? We call meteorology department or something like that.
Well, I went and spoke to the meteorological department, and they're again very, very elusive. Me and two students actually went to the meteorological department to try and speak to the guy directly, and the guy wasn't. We were there for about half an hour, and then it turned out that the guy wasn't there. It's been really difficult to try and speak to these people directly. They don't seem particularly fussed about trying to because I kind of hoped when I first started the project that these people would kind of jump on it, because it's a very unusual project for me to be putting together, and I kind of hope that people like yourselves. I loved the fact that you guys got in contact with me so quickly, and I spoke to Firdaus, and he was like so happy to be on board with the project. For me, that's great. But the meteorological department have not been easy. We've emailed them, we went to visit them, and didn't manage to make contact with the guy that apparently we needed to. It's been really tough. In terms of cost-wise, I have been buying various bits and pieces of the hardware myself, and then the school have reimbursed me for a lot of it. I actually have a small weather balloon that I've owned myself for quite a long time, but it turns out that my small weather balloon that I actually own isn't big enough to actually lift our payload by the looks of it. So my school is going to buy, at my request, they're going to buy a larger balloon. That's going to cost around about, it's about 1,000 ringgits. And my school's happy to pay for that because it's part of my project that I'm running. In terms of the GoPro, it's already been purchased by my school. The Arduino has been purchased by the school. The GPS and the APRS transmitter chip has already been purchased. These are already bought. The only thing we're really left to buy is the balloon at this point. And then, of course, that's basically all the cost they're done. I do realize that, I know that you guys are going to have to at least have one person there on the day. And I don't know whether or not you guys as part of the amateur radio, whether or not you guys actually have a charge that you place onto people if you guys support.
No. I think we still need to approach the meteorological department because it is related to them also. Since
it is.
We need to get a clearance on this thing, and we need to get information from them. I think we need to see the right person. I think so. I mean
from my understanding, the meteorological department do launch weather balloons in Malaysia, or at least that's what it says on their website. I don't know how frequently they do it, but from all of my research and all of the people I've contacted, the only people that we really need to actually have alerted to this and have let them know in advance is the FAA, and they actually will give us a license. I've got the guy's email address. My last correspondence with him, how am I going to search for this? It'll be under my school account rather than my, so if I do a quick search for, it'll be, I do a search for balloon or FAA, that might be the right thing to do.
What department is the FAA is stands for?
Right, so I managed to contact, right, it doesn't appear, I don't think it's actually the FAA, it's the CAAM. I don't know what that stands for. CAAM.
What CAM? I also not sure.
Oh yeah, Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia.
Of Malaysia,
Yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah.
And I actually managed to contact a guy called Abdul Raleigh. And he was a really good guy. Like, I chatted with him on the phone several times. And I sent him an email just saying, Dear Mr. Raleigh, I represent a science enrichment club. This is the school I'm at. This is what we're hoping to launch. He then sent me an email back saying, Dear Mr. Dunkin, I'm referring to the trailing email below. Request your good office to fill in the forms. So my school office just need to fill in a few forms, it's called an unmanned free balloon detail form. So I actually have these forms ready to be filled in. And it says any changes in the pre-launch information, they must be no less than 3 days before the estimated time for launch. So I need to just give in these documents, these small forms. There's 2 of them, in fact. And they seem very straightforward, and the guy seemed to be pretty good, and he responded. I actually need to reply to him and just say I apologize for the delay in response, but the balloon's kind of gone a little bit onto the back burner just because I've gone and changed all the settings on my Skype now, and I don't know what I've gone and done.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there.
I've no idea. I think I've got 2 now running side by side, which is ridiculous. I don't know how I've gone and done that. Eek, I don't know how I've managed to get 2. Split screen it by accident, I think. I don't want to do that. My computer's gone crazy, sorry.
It's a matter of setting, actually.
All of a sudden, it's not enjoying what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
I don't know how I managed to do that.
Toby, you are recording this call, right? I need this copy of recording later on, because I'm going to pass this recording to committee's members of MARL. Are you listening? Because you are not moving, Toby. Hello, Toby. What happened? Firdaus.
Oh, sorry about that. I seem to have.
Yeah.
I just all of a sudden trying to read into. Sorry about that. I apologize. But as I said, it seems to me like. Oh, it's gone and done it again. I think somebody's sharing a screen. Is somebody sharing a screen?
I'm sharing screen.
What I'm pressing also, I do not know.
I think I've got somebody's sharing a screen. It's why it's slowing everything down. It's my fault. I was fiddling with stuff.
Right. Okay. Firdaus, what is the progress right now? What is your idea right now? Because I'm more to do an arrangement because not many things I know about this project, but we need to meet actually. I think we need to meet despite our conversation through our online conversation right now. We need to meet, because we need to discuss this thing further because for MRL we have a committee members that probably they have a good contact with person in government agency and so on. But please, Toby, your past experience when I listen to your, I mean, you are expressing your feelings and so on. I feel very bad about it because we are not helping you anything at the moment, but we're going to do our level best, you see. And
that is absolutely fine. I know that this project was never going to be an easy one. And this is, I mean, it's been very much outside my depth, and I've spent an awful lot of my time. I mean, I've spent a lot of hours researching and getting the students to look into what needs to be going on. And you guys you guys are going to come into your own when it comes to trying to track the balloon, because I don't think I've got anybody on my team who really has any idea about using APRS. In fact, I know the students don't, and my knowledge is very limited. And of course, I'd really like to have the fox hunting set up, and of course you guys will have the equipment to be doing that, which I definitely won't have, although we were looking to be building them. But if you guys can help in terms of having the knowledge and the equipment to be able to do those kind of things, that will be a huge help to me.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Toby, Mr. Romzi. So what I understand from the conversation is that Mr. Toby have already prepared the payload and the balloon and the cost associated with that. And the students are doing their thing with research and everything. So what I understand is you're using this transmitter. All right, can you see the transmitter?
That is the one.
Yeah, that one is HX1 144.390 megahertz transmitter.
That's the one. That's the one I've got.
Yeah. So the transmitter is using amateur radio frequency. Which you need to have a license to transmit the transmitter, right? So what I'm thinking is maybe you could use our help in the call sign. You have to have a license, a call sign to transmit on this transmitter. Maybe MARL can provide a special call sign for this special event. It's a one-time event.
Yeah, absolutely.
We can apply for that call sign, right?
Yeah.
So that's one solution that we can
for call sign.
Help you.
I think no problem for call sign because we can use we can request a special call sign, which is the temporary call sign. We're going to end about 3 days probably for 1 week probably. I do not know. It's up to us how long we need that call sign. That one is a special call sign, but if for long term, then we're going to go use MARL call sign, which is a club call sign, class A call sign. Then I think it shouldn't be a problem for call sign. Proceed, Firdaus.
Yeah. So the other thing is how do we track the balloon? So this is a PRS frequency. So this is going to transmit to APRS all over the region, right? So we can track the transmitter using aprs.fi. That's a website that reports positioning for APRS elements using the transmitter, right? So the area that we're going to transmit should be must be have a lot of this what you call iGate. So iGate, the iGate is a base station or mobile that report the radio frequency from the transmitter to the internet. That's an iGate. So you can look up at the aprs.fi website which area that have a lot of iGate coverage, so that we can see see visually where the balloon is moving in the real time in the map.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we have okay. If you refer to aprs.fi, have you seen aprs.fi website, Toby?
Yes, I have. I went on to it briefly and I looked at the maps and I saw the repeating stations and the kids and I had a look at the APRS website when we were trying to come up with a decent launch site.
All right. So as you see, as you've seen at aprs.fi website, that so many digipiters and I get been already exists, been organized by our amateur radio members also. And I don't think we have a big problem for this, because the only thing we need is the tracker, which is going to be one of the payload of the balloon. Okay, proceed, Firdaus. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, that's about it. Okay, maybe for the other thing is we got to try to figure out a secondary tracking where when the balloons land, maybe we can track using a different transmitter for fox hunt. That's to try to locate exactly where the balloon lands.
Beacon, right? You are talking about beacon.
Beacon, yeah.
Beacon. So people, you can use, people can find the things. We can. All right. We're going to. Okay. This is very fruitful discussion, and I need the recording video later on, Toby, because I need to to share this our conversation to our committee members, so they will be aware about this. And so many ideas came up actually. For example, we're going to put we're going to attach a mobile repeater as one of the payload, and then people can do conversation KSO. I mean, for the short time, and we can also have something like a contest or something like that, to make things interesting. And probably we can approach somebody who can sponsor us in terms of prizes, because for those who are able to get the payload when it was landed, then they get a prize. Is it something like a reward?
I think that's a great idea. I think that would definitely increase the chances of us being able to get the payload back. To have more people hunting for this is better.
Yeah, correct. Because we're going to spread the words. We're going to publish in our website and so on. So that is why we need to meet actually. To discuss further. How we going to do about this? What who are the technical people who to do it together? Because you mentioned earlier that you need somebody during the launching time. Our representative will be there. I think it's not a good enough, because what I'm thinking is we want to join with you to do it together. To contribute something. Because I think it's not just your personal effort or your school effort, but I think this is a part of we want to join with you, because we're doing it together if possible. I do not know what is your opinion about this, Toby.
I'm happy to have you guys join in on the efforts. I think the more people involved means that the more likely chance of success, to be fair. I'm happy. I mean, the only issues that I will have is I'll need to talk to my school. We run the project, the project where the students are together and we're working through the balloon issues, is we do it once a week, and it's going to be at about 2:30 to 3:30 on a Wednesday, I think, next year. So I have 1 hour a week, where we have time where we work on this project. So if you guys wanted to be involved, you'd probably have to. I don't know whether or not we'd want to establish this as an activity that's done after school. I'd need to talk to my heads of school to find out whether or not they'd agree with it or not. It's just something I have to do.
Yeah, because because this is the first experience for us also, and we would like to participate in this thing. It's not just a matter of we are been there for the launching time. During the launching, I think it is not sufficient enough, and I think if he does, I reckon him as our technical person, that he got a lot of ideas, especially when related to amateur radio, because and awesome. Then I'm going to assist him as well in terms of to coordinate this thing with the government agency and so on. I do not know, because whatever you have told us that your bad experience when communicating with government agency, I feel bad also, because what I'm thinking is probably we going to help you with government agency, because we have a few numbers of people who are
imagine you do
in good position.
And I think it seems to me like I really needed someone who spoke Bahasa fluently, and I think that would have made things a whole lot easier with communicating to the right people.
Yeah, correct. Okay.
I don't know, Firdaus, would there be any possibility of you being able to come into my school on a Wednesday afternoon?
On a Wednesday,
I think
where is the
Firdaus is working with Ministry of Education. All right. Yes. So I think this is my suggestion. MARL as amateur radio, amateur radio organization. We're going to probably I do not know. Probably we're going to write a letter to Firdaus' boss or or who else to have to give him opportunity to join with you. Yep. Probably because I'm not working. You see, my working time is very flexible, so I can go. Yeah. I need to, but Firdaus is working. I know it's quite
I totally understand
difficult for him.
I'd love to.
We're going to write a letter.
I'd love to think that the MOE would be happy to come in to work with us. I think they should be. I mean, it's what you guys do.
So every Wednesday, right? Every Wednesday, about 1 hour. Is that what you mentioned just now?
I'll need to check my timetable just to make sure that is the correct time.
And then
I'll be in communication with Firdaus on that.
How about after school? I mean, if you're not involving students.
I could do an hour after school club. That would be any time after 3:30. It would probably be best to be done on a Wednesday.
And how about the other day? Probably Sunday or weekend, something like that.
Possibly. I mean, Firdaus would be travelling on the weekend to come and spend time with students. I'm not entirely sure he'd want to do that.
Okay. This is very interesting, and probably we can decide right now when we're going to meet, because I'm very excited about this. So when we are going to meet, because I'm going to ask our committee members of MARL to join us as well.
Okay.
Okay. So can we decide now, because easier, later on I just mentioned to them. Then we're going to see each other, and we can discuss further on this. Because
whereabouts we're going to meet, because you guys being in, I know that Mustafa, you're in Malacca, which is quite a long way from me.
Yeah, it's no problem. We can arrange that, but I'm concerned for Firdaus, because he's more far than us. He's at Johor Bahru. I mean, and he's also working. And Firdaus got to give ideas on this, or probably we can meet somewhere in the middle. No, you are from Kuala Lumpur, Firdaus from Johor Bahru, and we meet somewhere in the middle, which is Melaka. Probably, I do not know.
Sure, we could do that.
Okay. Firdaus,
So
how?
we have a holiday coming up on 9th of so we have a Cuti Hari Kurban Raya Haji holiday on 11th. That's on Sunday.
It's not on Sunday, yes.
On Sunday, so I'm going back to Melaka about around 9th August. I'll be in Melaka till 11th of August. So maybe by that time we can meet up.
Okay. So 11 August is it the day you are suggest just now is on 11 August? We're going to meet.
August, 11 or 10th, maybe the 10th of August on a Saturday.
Oh, 10 August.
10, yeah.
Yeah, 10 of August. So we're going to meet each other at Melaka. Is that our decision right now?
Melaka
It's a long way for me to drive.
Yeah. You need to drive from KL to Melaka. Is that convenient for you?
To go for a meeting. This is why I thought Skype was better.
Yeah,
because my school aren't gonna fund me driving all the way down to Melaka.
Okay.
This is one of the problems.
Because not
it being doing this long distance, it's tricky.
Yeah. Because if everybody familiar with this kind of meeting, is no problem for me, because our elders, I mean our seniors, they do not know how to use this kind of Skype, you see, so they still prefer to meet each other. So that is why I'm suggest that we still need to.
Are your seniors all in Melaka?
No. KL mostly.
Right. I just wonder whether or not we should do the meeting in KL rather than in Melaka.
Yeah. I was thinking, because most of them, staying at somewhere in Kuala Lumpur, Selangor, which is not very far.
Yep.
All right. So Firdaus, how about it? I'm concerned is Firdaus, because he's working, see, and so because he's the most important person,
No.
Me and Firdaus, we chat on WhatsApp, so we'll be able to stay in communications a bit easier than having to cope with Skype.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So
okay,
we can do is we can chat over WhatsApp and try and find a location and a date that works for the meeting.
Yeah. Maybe Mr. Romzi can organize with the Elmers. Maybe they come to your place for the Skype session.
The only thing is you need to tell me when is the date and time and place. That's it.
Yeah.
If I get the confirmation on that particular detail, so I just easily mention to them to attend in our meeting, because this is very important, you see. So for me, I got no problem. You just mentioned to me when I can go, because I'm very flexible my working time. But for you, Firdaus, you are working, you see. So you have to really, if possible, probably, I do not know. If possible, I can, write a letter from MARL to your boss, asking for, to be excused for, probably can, I do not know. It is up to you. You just, you need to tell me later on how we are going to do about this.
Okay. We can discuss later. Maybe it's no problem for me when we have a date for event or important event. I can take a leave for the event. That's no problem. But I cannot attend every Wednesday. So maybe you can use Skype with the students.
Yeah, maybe.
Is it maybe that possible? Right?
Firdaus, have you actually I mean, would the MOE not want to be involved with this?
Yeah, probably MOE, Ministry of Education.
MOE, yeah. So I'm at the state level, so the state of Johor, Johor Education Department. So I don't think.
They're not gonna like you being in a different area, then, aren't they?
Currently, I'm in quality control, so it's not my power,
This sounds like a great
authorities.
opportunity to get promoted, Firdaus. You can be like, I'm now liaising with schools. This is an ideal situation.
Yeah. Agree with you, Toby. Okay.
Expanding, working with the Amateur Radio Association, getting connections with schools. It's like this is like MOE all over the place. Oh yeah, Firdaus in no time.
Okay. Alright. Okay. What next?
What I'll do is me and Firdaus will chat over WhatsApp and we'll come up with a date and place for a meeting. I have to say the one thing to do is really to we need to kind of decide whether or not we want to be doing this on the Kuala Lumpur side or the Malacca side, and it depends who's coming. The person who knows is Mustafa.
All right. Okay. But I think we should meet as soon as possible because this is I'm also very excited.
Oh, good! I'm glad. That's kind of the idea behind the project. The students are really excited about it as well.
All right. Okay. So later on, we both of you going to coordinate when is the suitable time and place as well. And the date especially, and I'm going to, after I got the information, I'm going to invite my seniors in amateur radio. We call it Elmers. So they for sure they got a lot of things, ideas and so on. So I'm going to be a very good discussion later on, and the most important thing is probably we can invite Dr. Faisal, which is he's a lecturer, I think senior lecturer at one of our local university.
Oh right, that'd be great.
He's a professor. The call sign is 9 Mike 2. I couldn't remember his call sign. 9 Mike 2. Firdaus, you remember him?
Yeah.
During our symposium.
I'm not familiar with Dr. Rizal, right?
Yeah.
I don't recall his call sign.
Yeah. Never mind. But he's a senior lecturer in Professor Dr. Faisal. He's a senior lecturer at what university at Negeri Sembilan? University Sun Islam. University Sun Islam of Malaysia. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So because he got experience for Tiong-Sat, satellite, which is they are attach amateur radio module at that satellite, and I do not know what year is that. But unfortunately, that Tiong-Sat is only working for only 6 months because the battery using an old battery, and that satellite finally died. You see, and
right.
Probably we can invite him also because you can he for sure he got a lot of ideas and about technical things on this. So just both of you, please do coordination. Please confirm the date, the time, the place, so I can later on I will spread the word. I can send a letter. I don't know. Probably we can invite meteorological department representative and
right.
Probably Ministry of Education. I do not know, but I need time and date. You see, time and date, so we can confirm where is the place. Probably at your place, Toby. I do not know.
I think doing this, because the meteorological societies here, I know that the Ministry of Education are nearby. I think probably doing this in KL and doing this nearby my school would be ideal.
All right. Okay.
Okay. I'll be chatting with Firdaus over WhatsApp.
Yes.
We'll come up with a date, time, and place. And we'll aim for this to be something like around the 10th or the 11th, depending on this bank holiday. And we'll be in touch with you soon, Mustafa, as soon as we can be.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, probably we can make a WhatsApp group.
Yep.
So whatever we discuss, then we I will notice as well, and I can participate with the discussion. All right.
Yeah, sounds good.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. Firdaus, I think we're going to end our live conversation now.
Yeah.
Thanks so much,
Okay, thank
Mustafa.
you,
I really appreciate your time. It's been a pleasure to meet you.
Mr. Sapuan, is it?
Yeah.
Sapuan.
I'm Sapuan. Yeah.
Sapuan.
There is one another person should join us. My senior also, Mustafa Bahari, but I do not know where is he. Missing somewhere. All right. But no man. I wish Toby will send the videos. I don't know. Probably can upload to YouTube. It doesn't matter. You just share the link, and you just share the link. Then I can share the link later on to MARL committee members. So this is
no problem.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Take care.
All right.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. See you.
Okay, bye-bye.
I'll speak to you soon,
Mr.
Firdaus.
Sapuan.
See you. All right.
Yeah,
Bye.
okay. Toby, see you in WhatsApp. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.